So we go to Glitterhagen.
You folks take a vessel, like a merchant captain who like sails between like communities in Bitterwood and Foothold,
You
and
have our own boat here, right?
Yeah, we have our own ship, right?
I mean you technically do, yes.
Yeah,
It is there.
with a
An
permanently hired crew.
awesome crew who are now permanently going to be stuck in this little sea here.
They're not permanently hired. You've spent an icon relationship die that it's not indentured servitude.
God damn it.
But they would
Until
be happy
the
to bring
issues
us to
in the
Glitter-
Empire are resolved, which will be never. So,
Regardless.
Yes, you certainly do have your own ship that can sail off. And as it turns out, it's not that bad just to get from Torrens glory to calamity. The process does end up taking 3-4 days. That's in part because the wind's not that cooperative, and at times the sailors have to get to rowing or to pulling the ship ahead just by using like an anchor or several anchors. But eventually, there's no interruptions, no horrid things happen to you folks while you're on your trip, and you do arrive at one of several towns that line the northern edges of the Bitterwood. The Bitterwood is not that tasty, so I mean, if you're into sour stuff, you'll probably be fine. It's all a matter of flavor. But there's no dedicated highway that would take you to Glitterhagen. There's certainly rumors abound of all of the horrible things that are in the Bitterwood, but, I mean, that's just peasant talk. The sailors that are traveling with you don't know much of any of the horrible things that would be in the Bitterwood, and, I mean, there's a demonic invasion, so surely any, like, hostile engagement you encounter will understand.
Sure.
We ask our boat and crew to wait here, basically. So as soon as we show ourselves again, they can immediately go to Foothold and be like, "Oh, they're here! Help! Get boats!"
Yeah, and meet us up by the edge of the mountains here, basically.
Yeah. Well, depending on how far we get, really.
Yeah, sure. Just follow the coast, the south coast.
It is a rather lengthy distance. Like, you should probably designate a meeting point.
There.
Right.
I think it'll be faster for the boats to go down here than us to walk up there.
Yes,
Well,
I don't know what that is in kilometers, but even that distance in miles is 40 to 50 miles. So it's, it is a significant distance. You can't spot everything within
Just
that.
make a huge fire. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, we can designate whatever little port town here that might actually have docks enough to have a decent number of ships.
That is certainly doable.
Alright, sure.
I guess we begin taking a trek for a bit. If they
we
we
might be
hire
able
a
to-
guide.
Yeah, exactly. We might be able to hire a guide to speed up the journey a bit, maybe.
Well, sure, you can hire a guide. That's not a problem.
Good.
That'll probably be fine. The only thing that our good friend our guide will inform you about is that Bitterwood, they say, is divided between the Lich King and the Prince of Shadows.
All right. Well, let's stay in the Prince of
awesome.
Shadows part.
Well, no, and there's no fucking delineated maps showing you where the influence of one icon begins and one ends. Probably one of the most powerful people in the Bitterwood Forest area is Prince Bone, Lord of the Bitterwood Estates. He is a member of the Undying Peerage. He is a Lich Prince.
How about we go this way, and then take a river barge down to Glitterhagen? Instead of going through this way, I imagine it's faster to walk this. Looks like farmland and actual communities.
Might be quicker, yeah. It probably is.
To take the short route there.
Yeah. And traveling by river is always faster than through woods.
Oh, yeah. I've named the community By Bitter.
Right.
I really don't want to deal with the Lich Count right now.
Not a Lich Count, Lich Prince.
Yeah. See, that doesn't make it better. We can talk to him after we've dealt with him. Hopefully he'll understand. Sure, he's got better things to do right now by by fighting them from the
Yes,
shadows.
he is an epic tier individual.
We're plebs to him. We're under the radar.
Well, not entirely, but none of you have any relation to the Lich King. At any rate, yes, by getting a guide, which won't cost any of your actual dollars, just your always on-hand dollars, the Bitterwood is divided between the Lich King and the Prince of Shadows. Some would say Bitterwood is pretty close to Shadowport, and is also close to the Midland Sea, where things like Necropolis are out there. And one of the most prominent and powerful individuals has an entire estate here, Lord Bone. Or Prince Bone, rather. Fucking peasants. Oh, he's a skeleton-looking thing. He must be. Like, well, just call him Bone.
Something great name he imagined for himself. It could be Lord of Fate and Destiny. Or Master of Dread and Terror.
Yes, it takes you folks the rest of a good month to complete your travels. But you, with the help of the guide, do manage to find larger roads fairly well, getting out of the Bitterwood, and then following a major road, which takes you along the river into the wonderful, glorious glamour and glitz, the beautiful trade city of Glitterhagen. This is a mercantile capital. There's quite a few dwarves here, too. You know, this is one of the older and very powerful cities of the Dragon Empire.
I suppose the first thing we would want to do would be to find reliable sailors who would bring a message to Newport.
Yep.
Yes. Getting several groups basically to deliver the messages separately to ensure that one succeeds will actually dip into party funds here. The total price of that would be 100 gold pieces.
I'll pay it.
Okay.
Yes, on my own pocket.
Okay.
Not rich, but I can do 100 gold.
That will basically get 3 vessels with competent sailors who are willing to brave the Midland Sea in these times. The hope that one of them actually. I also think that this is the first time you folks have been to the City of Coins.
Yes.
Most definitely, never been there.
All right. Well, just to let you know, it is a rather beautiful place. If everything has a price, Glitterhagen is where you can find someone willing to take your money. It's the most mercantile of the 7 cities, a place where merchant guilds have more sway than the imperial governor, and the Thieves Guild thrives despite countless programs to squash it. The human, half-elven, and gnome merchants of Glitterhagen aren't quick to admit it, but part of the reason for the city's economic power is its proximity to Forge and the central kingdom of the dwarves. The dwarves do most of their trade here, instead of inviting outsiders to their lands.
So, the Bitterwood actually would have quite a bit of trade then, like I imagine this district here.
Yes.
Trade with the dwarves?
Yes. Glitterhagen is the most mercantile city, and it is the City of Coins for a very good reason. There's quite a bit of activity that does happen between Glitterhagen and Forge, as a lot of dwarven merchants make their way down, basically by crossing a massive bridge that connects like these 2 points here, that the dwarves constructed long ago to connect up their anvil to Forge itself.
Mm-hmm.
And then they take the beautiful land bridge that they built and head to Glitterhagen. And then Glitterhagen folks, you know, outsiders typically aren't welcome in Dwarven lands. Okay, Chief. Glad you thought of doing that now instead of in the paranoia.
Prices suddenly spiked in Foothold for like healing potion and stuff. So my thought is that we would hire the Red Gauntlet Company now, and then send them directly up. Maybe they can reach foothold before the siege begins.
That would be nice.
And
but
I think
don't
they're
think so.
they're a company of people who get their living by killing grinder worms. I think they can make a difference.
They resolve grinder worm problems.
You don't kill them. Man, that's even more intriguing.
Oh, none of you have ever wanted to talk to Crusader people or the Red Gauntlet Company.
But
Not nice people.
if we were to approach them, I suppose.
Yes. The Red Gauntlet Company has a rather menacing looking... Well, it's not what you'd call, like, a keep, but it's certainly a fortified construction to the west of Glitterhagen, pretty much on the outskirts of the entire city. Glitterhagen does have quite a few individuals of the Crusaders group who come into this area. The keep, we'll just call it a keep, certainly does look big and stony, and does menace with spikes, and does portray wonderful statues and artistic depictions of demons being murdered and slaughtered, and a few homages to the dark gods. The guards scattered around, looking from the top of the keep, as well as patrolling, are heavily armored and do certainly count a mixture of non-humans among them. There's a few centaurs, several bugbears, and a number of ogres as well. In general, non-humanoids are strictly not tolerated on the Dragon Empire. The Imperials are not very accepting of every flavor, but forces of the Crusader do tend to get a pass on that front. Whole demon slaying thing's still kind of a big deal.
So, do any of you know how to hire mercenaries?
And you better believe this would be a roleplay situation, because as it turns out, you trying to slap your dick on the table and go, yeah, we're the fucking, yeah, look at our accomplishments, is going to pretty much have these ogres and bugbears and centaurs look at you like, who the fuck are you people?
We want to talk to their leader, because
Yes.
we have a job for them.
Now, they do like jobs and the prospect of money, and as it turns out, there is the leader himself who is available to hear you folks and these promises of what wonderful money could be. He is a paladin, a devoted servant of the dark gods who has spent his life crushing demons. He is a terrifying and imposing man with a malevolent-looking goatee who goes by the name of Lucius Chaosbane. In part because the greatsword that he wields is actually a gift he got while in the Crusader service.
Pretty good credentials.
Pretty good credentials.
Yes.
Don't worry.
Yes,
feel
it
this
is
is a
the greatsword is certainly bigger than he is, almost 7 feet tall, whereas he's not even 6.5 feet. And the sword, rather than having like a metallic sheen to it, is just straight out black. Like the entire blade doesn't do like this whole like absorption of light thing. It doesn't like glint if you like twist it. It's black.
So it's like stealth paint or something.
It's black.
Like
Obsidian.
black hole blade.
That actually would not be a terrible description of it, Manaki. It is a void black.
Sucks all light around it, never lets it escape.
Certainly doesn't look like a normal metal. Like, oh, make a sword out of this shit. It's not mithril or adamantine or like some sort of like stealth-coated steel. It's black. Perhaps from all of the horrid creatures this thing has slain. Perhaps because of rituals of the dark gods. Perhaps this was some sort of relic or artifact that had been recovered from demonic hands that has been repurposed. Crusader can do that. Just like he's repurposes hellholes and turns them into fortresses. He's got a few teeth missing. They are replaced with beautiful golden versions. He does crack a wonderful grin, and he has a tendency to, at least you'll be warned, while you're allowed to basically like go see this wonderful man in his opulence of the Red Gauntlet Company. Who is currently eating a wonderful meal, uncaring about the suffering of other peasants in the food shortages he does not want for food. And he has a tendency to just rely on flat on intimidation.
Alright.
Lucius is eating alone, but you are able to get into the dining hall without significant incident. The man and his dark, foreboding, yet promising eyes look up from his beautiful plates of mutton and cups of ale and says, "How in the gods did the four of you get in here to see me?"
Well, the answer might be simple. Business.
Not polite to discuss business while someone's eating, he says, continuing to eat.
I apologize, but your guard did let us in.
We won't take up much of your time. There's a bit of a situation up north. There's currently a demonic invasion going on in the area of Foothold.
Without really looking towards Geráck, says, "Yeah, always a demonic invasion of one sort or another. Peasants always go scurrying. Oh no!"
This one seems to be a bit more serious than the rest of them.
At this
I
point,
don't just take a word for it. We're willing to offer.
Lucius, looks up, almost as if he's about to give a disparaging remark. He looks at Geráck, seeing him for the first time, and his eyes narrow. "Oh, they let one of you in."
Indeed.
Alright, well, technically, I suppose we're mercenaries, and technically, we're willing to accept payment in exchange for jobs, and technically, I have heard of an ominous shadow to the west, and if that ominous shadow is demons, then I think by the gods, me and my boys might be able to handle some of that. Especially if tongue comes out to lick his lips, if proper incentive is had.
I think that could be arranged.
Indeed.
Alright, well, we do not come cheaply, and he'll start going into the wonderful rates that the Red Gauntlet Company charges to resolve affairs. Also, if by chance that there is a grinderworm problem that you have at any point, the Red Gauntlet Company is pretty much the only group in the entire Dragon Empire who will resolve grinderworm problems for you.
We'll say that we already dealt with that problem.
We heard of that reputation. I thought, who better to easily squash a small demonic invasion?
He snorts, "Small demonic invasion." Those words do not make sense together.
That they don't.
They do not. Regardless, I suppose we have the political power would represent political sway in order to get the money freed up to us.
Yes,
to
money
use
and
on this
treasures and prizes. Yes. Lucius will say, "I've always wanted to fight one of those damn boar demons. Never gotten the opportunity to encounter one of them in combat personally. And Arantha the Maleficent certainly carries quite a reputation of his own. I look forward to killing him myself."
What do you know?
We certainly won't stop you from trying.
Oh, that we won't.
Lucius ignores Jasmine's question. Resumes eating.
Explain the plan is that, if possible, his company would move as quickly as possible to Bitterby, from where ships should be arranged to carry them to Foothold to aid in the city's defense, or aid in dealing. Basically, we will hire them to deal with aid in dealing with the demonic problem. I suppose that will be the mission statement.
He snorts. My boys can wait in a better be or near there, if you want. But we wouldn't entirely be welcome in the place, I'm sure. I have heard of it. Although, in matters of speed, I would just prefer taking the land bridge.
If that is faster, then do that by all means. The idea would be that you would arrive in Foothold faster than the siege can enclose the city to aid it in such a way from the inside. We will bring a lot more reinforcements to end this incursion. However, we doubt that we will have the time to bring them there before the siege encloses. We then imagine that there will be a battle when we actually bring our forces to bear, if you, of course, have not destroyed the demons already.
Demons are not a sieging sort. At least, they've never been in my entire life.
There was cultists in the city trying to destroy the granaries of Foothold, suggesting that they were anticipating a siege, or at least that armies would be stationed there.
Lucius
We have
would say,
taken steps to protect the food supply, however.
The removing of the food would not do much of a siege as much as prohibit armies from doing anything against the demons. The demons could have their way, which I'm sure they plan on doing.
The situation, however, has been stopped. It's good to have your insight, and I'm sure the locals there will appreciate it. And I'm sure you will appreciate the significant amount of treasure that will be put your way for doing this.
Demons don't like to throw their lives away. They like to take paths of least resistance. Are you confident that they're interested in taking the city?
No. They're interested in doing something, and generally demons are bad. Working with that assumption, we wish to strike them down before they can do whatever it is that they're trying to do.
Thank you for telling me about my business, elf.
My pleasure.
He does the equivalent of... He actually has eyes. He rolls them and resumes eating.
Well, seems like he knows what he's doing, so,
Yes, your two political power would be basically going to various merchants here in Glitterhagen and basically using the political favor you've curried across the Dragon Empire, and in exchange for these merchants having more power and sway within the Empire, they'll get all some of their funds, and perhaps in part they might be interested in getting these bastards out of the city for a while.
I'm Geráck, and this is my favorite wool merchant. And the Great Gold Worm endorses McCarthy Cafe.
You shut up.
Yes. Your political power will be reduced by 2 to 5. And for every 2 months that you keep these guys around, we're pretty much at the start of reaping. That will be an extra political power. That includes the week-long months, too.
Let's just hope that they don't, like, stall and just do nothing. Some stupid shit like that. Yeah. Just to repeat, our orders to our people was to basically go to Glitterhagen and then travel through the forest to over here, while our engineers are supposed to seal the Bitter Meadow caverns. That'll at least give us some little more political sway so we can keep the people hired for a little longer if need be.
Okay.
After that, I assume we would go to Axis?
Yeah. Sail for Axis.
All right. Well, I mean, you can sail for Axis if you really want. There's a fucking highway right there, which would actually probably be quicker than sailing in the Midland Sea at this point.
Get horses and then exchange them halfway to get faster and fresh horses, and then do that whole thing. You want the business line.
Well, it only takes a few
Alright.
days, regardless of like which method. Not a few days, a couple of days. Which method you take to arrive once more in the glorious city of swords, which looks just as gruesome and prepared for war as it was the first time you visited.
Alright.
Wonderful.
Yes. Indeed.
Yeah.
And we will get some more warships.
Jasmine, I'm sure you will handle it from here.
All we need are some gruesome and prepared for war warships.
It's in the word warships.
Well, time to tug strings at the nobles, I suppose, and go after warships. Are we spinning dice on this, or?
I don't think we have enough dice for it. Oh, we
You
do
have,
actually.
You have
Yes.
4 Emperor dice.
That's,
And then
that's
2
good.
5s.
Yeah, we're not going to spend the 5s, are we?
No. The question here comes then, because I didn't actually think there was like, yeah, we might not need the warships right now.
No.
The idea would be so we have them when we need to return and do other stuff, so that we don't have to like stuff our ships completely and basically gamble our people every time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we don't want to spend the dice, we could spend them, maybe not at this point, but sometime later for Glitterhagen to see what's up with our dear Renee Cauldron.
There was also the whole situation where we did eventually want ships, so to go to Cape Thunder. Did it help out there? didn't we?
Yeah, we
I do still
need
think
a
we should
second
get the
set.
ships.
Yeah, we do need a second set eventually.
Let's get him, and then we can ferry our Archmage troops from Horizon directly to Glitterhagen.
You will need probably 4 days to go through the horrid political bureaucracy, and then for like the bureaucracy to check with all the political favors you've incurred,
I've
and the
already signed up
bureaucracy to
before.
make these warships available. Because as it turns out, I mean they aren't exactly growing on trees. Like, let me just go to the warship grove and pluck off like a bundle. And, like,
This is why we need more druids in the Empire.
So
I don't
during
think
that
druids
time,
like building warships, actually.
could we maybe split the party and send some of us down to Horizon to get the mages while this is going on?
The answer to could we split the party should usually always be no.
No, can we? Yes. Should we?
Well, surely Aurelia's the one talking to the mage people, because she's the
Yes.
only one who has the sway with them, right?
Conflicted, admittedly, but
It's still better than
I have some connections.
Yeah.
yeah, some people believe in your. You killed that guy I really fucking hated. That's great.
that's one way of looking at it.
Yeah, the thing is, we're kind of pressed for time, and
Yeah.
if it's gonna take that long, then we could go get the mages while this thing is going on.
because I play politics.
Well, I mean, you could send someone there to start the process, yes.
Yeah.
There's less bureaucracy, but your group has already gotten some stuff from Horizon, particularly one
I'll
certain
stay,
individual.
I'll stay here with Jasmine. That's fine. I don't need to visit Horizon again. It was an unsettling experience altogether.
Oh, tell me about it.
You can help me fill out paperwork.
Sure.
We need a signature here,
All right,
and then like
so
100 pages.
who is going to Horizon?
Definitely Aurelia
I
Okay.
guess I will go as well.
and Geráck. The dream
Aurelia
team.
and Geráck, the 2 individuals of comfort. What token have you dropped on the map, Goger?
What?
It says you've dropped a token onto the map. Was it just
Geráck?
You already dropped a token onto the map, though, that I thought was for Geráck. Why do you keep dropping things?
I didn't.
I was just looking at chat log. Okay, so the party splits.
Yes.
This is
The-
where
the
the
ad-
assassin angels come, right?
The advocate of don't split the party has said split the party. You heard it here first, folks. Goger's like, let's split the party. As
Lies and
the
slander.
Aurelia and Geráck, the 2 who have traveled the most together, head to Horizon, the city of wonders.
Yes.
Now, you folks really haven't had the pleasure of hanging around and enjoying Horizon that much. Going through the wonderful bureaucracy in Horizon is a feat unto itself. particularly because none of you have a guide, like Lord Lanxam. You're on your own. And in case you've forgotten how Horizon looks, I can remind you. There's a map that gives you an indication of just how horrible Horizon is to navigate through.
Yeah.
It sure is. And you two said, let's go there willingly. And why wouldn't you have? Because you have things that you want from there.
Well,
Yeah, that's
we've
probably
been here
like a-
once before. I'm sure it's not too difficult to find.
A visitor's guide.
You really haven't done this
Information
before.
kiosk.
You've been here before, but that didn't involve, like...
We just left for the owlbear place.
Yes, you
Now
pretty
we're-
much just,
now
like,
you're going
left.
to, like, ask them for aid for prior services.
But didn't we get mages from here?
You
Yeah,
got
because
mages
we
for
got
doing
them
that
from
mission, not
helping
from,
the
like,
elves from
engaging in
down there.
Horizon bureaucracy.
Right.
So, with that in mind, there is a navigation check that I am going to require from you, Aurelia. This
Alright.
is an intelligence or a wisdom skill check. You do not have a background that applies. And your penalty here will be a -4. As it turns out, those Horizon wizards that you thought, oh yeah, I mean, these guys are great. No consequences at all. They're a bit miffed.
They really don't like me. Let's see. Oh, that's good. Could be
Yes.
better, but that's good.
22 will be sufficient for you to navigate through the horrendous portal gates as you try to find your way to, like, where you can learn more about shit and where you can actually get these fucking mages that you want. As you are bounced from district to district, like, oh, go dockside. No, go to the college district. Now go to the Archmage's court. Now, how about trying out the Archmage's dodecahedral gardens? Those are a thing.